is a unit, or have you heard, containing 6 times 10 to the... Oh, hi there. Well, happy Mole Day to you. I'm recording this on Sunday, the real Mole Day. We celebrate it from 6:02 a.m. to 6:02 p.m. on 10/23. Now, I know you're watching this on Monday, which is the 24th, but we'll still pretend it's the 23rd and we want to celebrate Mole Day. Well, why do we celebrate Mole Day? Well, because it's a very important unit in chemistry. And that's right, it is a unit. But this unit tells us 3 things that are important to chemists. And we're going to talk about those 3 things. Number 1 is it tells us the number of particles. That's right, a mole tells us how many particles there are. And the particle, now what do I mean by particles? Well, a particle could be atoms, like if we're talking about copper. Could be ions, if we're talking about copper ions or sodium ions. If we're talking about molecules like H2O, then a mole has a certain number of particles in it. Or formula units if we're talking about ionic compounds. You could even have a mole of donuts or Tootsie Rolls, although that would be an awful large amount, because how many particles are in a mole? There are 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd particles in a mole. And that is a huge number. It's a huge number. It's known as Avogadro's number after this lovely gentleman right here, Avogadro, who actually had a very long name. I challenge any of you to look it up and memorize it. But he never knew what his number was. But he did a lot of research in finding that equal volumes of gases at the same temperature and pressure have the same number of particles. Later on, they found out this number of particles was 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. So they named it in honor of him. So that's how many particles in there are in a mole, whether you have donuts, Tootsie Rolls, atoms, molecules, or ions. Now, what's the second thing a mole tells us? It tells us the mass. So if you have 1 mole of a substance, its mass in grams will be equal to its atomic weight, or its formula mass weight. So the mass of helium is 4. So 1 mole of helium would have a mass of 4 grams and would have 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms in it. 1 mole of water would have a mass of 18 grams and have 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of water in it. So I think the light's going on for you. You're kind of understanding the importance of this mole thing now. But there's a third thing a mole can tell us, and the mole can tell us the volume of a gas, only if it's a gas, at STP. Now, STP stands for standard temperature and pressure. Standard temperature is 0 degrees Celsius, and as you know, that could also be 273 Kelvin. Standard pressure, we have many pressure units. It's 1 atmosphere of pressure, or 101.3 kilopascals of pressure, or 760 millimeters of pressure, of mercury of pressure. All these are pressure at sea level. So if your gas is at standard conditions, it will have a certain volume, which is 22.4 liters. That's called the molar volume. So these are the 3 things that a mole tells us. It tells us the number of particles, it tells us the mass, and if it's a gas at STP, it tells us its volume. So you can see moles are very, very useful. And if you've paid close attention to this information I've told you can help you on some of your Molympiad events. Now, I want you all to have a molerless mole day. And so I am going to tell you a little joke with the help from some friends. Okay, now to help me, I have the Pillsbury Mole Boy. I have Marilyn Monroe, and I have Animal. They're going to help me. Well, here we have all 3 of them, as you can see. And what is this? What am I showing you? Something some people sometimes put on pancakes. I don't personally. I do use it in ginger cookies. That's right. It's molasses. Shh. Don't tell anybody I told you that. But it's pretty funny, isn't it? Have a good mole day.